Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, broadcasting from Lagos. Here are the stories making our headlines this hour. Awando PLC denies allegation of receiving Ibori's assets. NATI threatens to withdraw licenses of operators in the solid minerals sector over non-compliance with legal requirements. Governor Pavio says President Jonathan's intention to contest in the 2015 election is not debatable. And mass shooting in Washington, D.C. kills 12 persons. A reminder here that our top stories and other programs are on our website. It's channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channelsweb. But to get us on the move, then visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on an iPad, an iPhone or a BlackBerry. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android and Nokia 920 from their respective stores. Allowed to 10 weeks of shutdown of schools in Yobe State following the wave of attacks by the Boko Haram sect. Normal academic activities have resumed today in all schools across the state. The government had on Friday last week ordered the reopening of all primary and secondary schools, given the assurance that adequate security has been put in place. Our correspondent in Damaturu, who visited some of the schools, reports that the turnout of pupils and students is impressive. Meanwhile, the two schools that were attacked will have to wait for 2 weeks pending the completion of repairs there. 29 students and 3 teachers were killed in the attacks, which the Boko Haram sect claimed responsibility for. Well, staying with education, in Delta State, the government today inaugurated the Education Marshal Project in Asaba, the capital. Governor Malonu Duahan said his administration has already recruited 100 education marshals to monitor schools in the state. Their work is to ensure compliance by parents and guardians to the state's education policy to have all school-age children in classrooms during school hours.
These marshals are individuals aged between 25 and 40 years.
This will be the consequence if a child is caught outside the classroom during school hours in Delta State.
How are you? How did you get out of the school compound? There is a security guard. In short, where are your teachers? How did you get
Though
out of
this
the
is
school
just a
compound?
simulation, the Delta Education Marshal is real with the backing of the state government.
Over 8% of the children of Delta State who are supposed to be in school today are not in school. So many reasons are being adduced for their not being in school, starting from not having enough classrooms, cultural issues, traditional issues, financial issues by parents. Yes, all these are excuses.
While many children in Delta State are made to engage in child labor, such as street hawking, to augment their family's income. That's a practice prohibited by Nigeria's Child Rights Act, and traditional rulers in Delta State also lauded the Edu Marshals.
There must be a concerted effort to make sure that we have the children we can train, because the government cannot continue to spend resources on training children, for some people are making children as if they are factories. We do hope that this program will help our children to go to school.
While the leadership of the National Council of Women's Society also indicated their commitment to the Edu Marshals.
Today, another milestone is added, and that is every child must be educated. We'll do our best to make sure that the children are in school. Those who are out of school, we make sure that we talk to the parents to send back to school.
So, here's how it works. These education marshals will patrol their jurisdiction during school hours, and any child found engaging in other activities outside the classroom will be accosted. And after 3 months of the introduction of Edu Marshal, counseling will give way to prosecution of the parents by the Delta State government.
Meanwhile, the Anambra State's governor, Mr. Peter Obi, has presented checks of over 1.4 billion naira for accelerated progress in education to all mission primary schools in the state. And presenting the checks to the Catholic Archbishop of Onitsha, Archbishop Valerian Okeke, and his Anglican counterpart, Bishop Christian Afobi Akwa. Governor Obi said the fund is to help complete the final phase of the Millennium Development Goals in education ahead of the 2015 target.
Pupils, teachers, parents and government functionaries all gathered to witness what many described as a phenomenal event. Over R1 billion is given to mission partners in a scheme tagged Accelerating Progress in the Attainment of Education for All in Anambra State, with concentration on infrastructure development, strengthening the institutional management of schools, and provision of incentives and learning support materials.
Nobody in this country has adopted our vision to achieve NDG goal, and nobody has tried. So we're going to do the final push to achieve NDG goals. All the sectors, I want to spend in all 8 sectors at least 5 billion.
Now that they've been kitted with the wherewithal to begin a radical change in the missionary schools, the benefiting overseers had nothing else to say than a thank you.
Gratitude to God who said that the ravages of the war that came upon us more than 40 years ago will be addressed, redressed, and totally corrected. We of the church, we are very proud of you. We of the church, we are saying we will never fail. I want to assure you. Because our prayers is that God will give us another Peter.
For the State Commissioner for Education and the National Chairman of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, the Obi administration has given the state a new phase in education.
Last quarter of last year, the government disbursed 10 million each to all the secondary schools, the mission schools, and then early this year he did same, and people started asking questions about public schools. He then started disbursing to public schools. I have all the checks for public schools, but giving us some, but some other ones will do that to all the schools.
In addition to the funds, 4,000 teachers are to be employed in both primary and secondary schools across the state.
I'll make a detour to politics. Warring factions in the People's Democratic Party have been asked to sheath their swords as efforts are being intensified towards resolution of crisis rocking the party. Niger State Governor Babangida Aliyu made the plea at the presidential villa after the governor's meeting with President Goodluck Jonathan. He says the meeting had been cordial and all sides indicated a commitment to resolving the issues. Governor Aliyu announced that the next meeting has been scheduled for Monday, October the 7th. In attendance at this meeting were the governors of Adamawa, Niger, Rivers, Kwara, Sokoto, Jigawa, Akwa Ibom, Kogi and Kano State. Also present was the Vice President and the Chairman of the Board of Trustees.
The governors of Adamawa, Niger, Rivers, Kwara, Sokoto, Jigawa, Akwa Ibom, Kogi, Kano, and Cross River States met with the President, the Vice President, and the Chairman of the Board of Trustees and extensively deliberated on various issues over a 3-day period. The meetings were cordial and deliberation fruitful with a clear commitment on all sides to resolve all issues raised at the meetings. The meeting also called on all parties to seize their sword and avoid further inflammatory comments on all issues, particularly during the course of our deliberations, as efforts are being made to resolve all differences. In the interim, all parties have undertaken to commence immediate actions and agreed towards a complete resolution of all matters, and to continue to meet until all processes towards full reconciliations are concluded amicably. The meetings will continue on Monday, the 7th of October 2013. We use this opportunity, therefore, to thank all members of our party and supporters for their patience and understanding as we make sure and ensure that genuine progress towards resolving the differences are met.
Niger State's Governor Babangida Aliyu, but still ahead on the news at 10. Nigeria's oil exports decline 11% owing to oil theft. That's on Business News. Do join us again.